The comic book market is booming,
And I bought a lot of these comics before they skyrocketed.
with huge sales over the last year.
Really, bro?
Easy million.
Sold.
Today, we're breaking down the most expensive comic book sales
A recent copy of Superman #1 sold for about $5.6 million.
and what they mean for collectors.
This is crazy.
By the end of this video, you'll know how comic book values are structured,
What's the difference in them? Is there any?
A 5 right
Just
there.
that's it.
Yeah.
how to spot valuable comics yourself,
I mean, I'll give you $8 grand for it.
and how to recognize a hidden gem when you see one.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
But just how big is the comic book market?
I've got bated breath here.
But I have no choice.
And with inflation on the rise, how much higher can these prices go?
And this is history, by the way. It's 1939.
Hear insights from experts and collectors as we explore the future of this market.
We've got comic books, more comic books.
I'm not in the hole. I'm probably still positive.
Welcome to Cabal Capital, your go-to source for deep dives into the world of entertainment, finance, and luxury collectibles. The scarcity of a comic, meaning how many copies were printed and how many have survived, plays a huge role. Combine that with the comic's physical condition, graded on a scale from 0 to 10, and you've got the basics of its value. The company that handles the grading and certification of comic books, ensuring their authenticity and condition, is called CGC.
What I'm holding in my hands here is a copy of Amazing Fantasy 15, the first appearance of Spider-Man that came out in 1962. This copy we've graded at 9.4, which is one of the highest graded copies in existence. And its value is around $1 million. And the owner of this book, like thousands of other collectors, entrusted us with his prized possession to grade and encapsulate.
Before CGC, the idea of assigning such tangible value to a comic was almost unimaginable. Their introduction of a standardized grading system gave the market a foundation that allowed collectors to see their beloved hobby transform into something with real financial significance.
What we do is we come in to kind of make it safer for those people so they know exactly what they're getting. The page quality, the notes that come with the book that state what the defects are, we check for restoration. So there's that peace of mind that's there that wasn't there 20 years ago.
But not everyone is happy with CGC grades.
It takes years to build up your reputation, 5 minutes to destroy it.
How do you discern 1/10 of a point?
What's the difference between a 9998? Nothing. If you have money in giant size, wow. Because your book is not the book anymore. That's just how it is, man. I'm sorry.
CBCS has had every opportunity to take advantage of market, and they have failed in every single way.
But who needs grades when you have real popularity and demand?
Whoa! The infamous Wolverine comic with pop-out claws. Why was this so controversial?
The more popular the character or creator, the higher the demand. And in this market, demand directly influences value. Current trends, including media adaptations, can skyrocket a comic's worth practically overnight.
We give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
Lastly, unique features and provenance. Limited edition variants, iconic cover art, signatures, and even an interesting ownership history can add significant value. A comic with a unique backstory or rare feature becomes not just a collectible, but a piece of art.
So this thing should be worthless. This is $5,000, $10,000.
What is
just this? It's just collectors are able to show off to each other. Do you have the invisible comic book?
Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Kicking off our list of the most expensive comic books is Batman #1, a key piece of comic book history.
What street is he taking?
He's not on a street, he's flying on rooftop.
After Batman's debut in Detective Comics 27 and the success of Batman #1, The Dark Knight quickly became a cultural icon, leaving an indelible mark across various forms of media. Batman's impact extends far beyond comic books, with a legacy that includes classic TV shows, blockbuster films, animated series, and video games. From Adam West's campy portrayal in the 1960s to Christian Bale's gritty take in the Dark Knight trilogy, Batman has continually evolved, adapting to each new generation while remaining a dominant force in popular culture.
Batman would never hit a defenseless woman.
Funny. I don't have that problem.
In January 2021, a stunning CGC 9.4 graded copy of Batman #1 sold for an incredible $2.2 million, making it one of the most expensive comics ever auctioned. This record-breaking sale highlights Batman's lasting impact and value in the world of Golden Age comics, where it continues to compete with Superman's legacy. At number 4 on our list is the iconic Marvel Comics #1, which made headlines in March 2022 when a CGC 9.2 graded so-called pay copy sold for an astounding $2.42 million. This particular copy is not just valuable for its grade, but also for its historical significance. It was the editor's own copy, used to record payments to creators like Carl Burgos, who introduced the Human Torch. As time went on, the company continued to experiment with new stories and characters, expanding their universe and introducing heroes and villains that would become iconic. Initially called Atlas, they eventually recognized their growing influence and rebranded, setting the stage for the Marvel legacy that would ultimately transform the comic book industry and shape pop culture as we know it today.
I'm pleased to present not only one of the most desirable comic books in the hobby and not only one of the top graded copies known to exist of that comic book, but it's also from one of the most famous collections ever. It's Captain America Comics #1, near mint.
At number 3 on our list is a true gem in the comic book world, Captain America Comics #1 from 1941, part of the famous San Francisco Pedigree collection. This near mint copy is not just rare, it's historic. It marks the debut of Captain America, Bucky, and the Red Skull, and it's the first comic to boldly feature Hitler on its cover. In an era where most heroes fought thugs and mysterious villains, Captain America stood out by taking on the real enemy, Hitler himself. The stunning artwork by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, with its dynamic action and powerful panels, made this comic a revolutionary piece of its time. What makes this particular copy even more remarkable is its condition. The front cover is pristine, and the back is just as flawless, an impressive feat for a comic of this age. Plus, the unique San Francisco Pedigree stamp adds to its rarity and value. This iconic book made history once again when it was sold at Heritage Auctions for an impressive $3.1 million. Its extraordinary value reflects not just its pristine condition and rich legacy, but also its enduring significance in the world of comic book collecting.
When I was 12 years old, 1962, we would go to town to get groceries on Saturdays and stop at a hot dog stand. And if I had been behaving myself, I would get a chance to pick up a comic or two. I was into Disney characters and anything to make you laugh. I was not a superhero comic person until Spider-Man came along, and that one I just picked up, and it got into the collection and has been there ever since.
At number 2 on our list is Amazing Fantasy number 15, the comic that introduced Spider-Man to the world.
This particular copy was sold in 1980 for $1,200 to Mr. Walter Yakuboski of Long Island. At the time, it was quite a bit of money, and his mother thought he was pretty insane for spending that kind of cash on a book. This is the first time that this copy has ever surfaced for public auction. The book sat for 35 years untouched in a safe deposit box until Mr. Yakuboski brought the book to our attention.
This particular comic is one of only 4 known copies in such pristine condition, making it incredibly rare. In September 2021, a near-mint CGC 9.6 graded copy of this iconic issue sold for an astonishing $3.6 million, setting a new record for the most expensive comic ever sold. At number 1 on our list is the legendary Action Comics #1, the comic that made headlines and remains the holy grail for collectors. Featuring the first appearance of Superman, almost any copy of this iconic issue is worth millions.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and more expensive than your average comic book. This incredibly rare copy of Action Comics #1 marked the first ever appearance of Superman and was originally published in 1938. 75 years after its first publication, the comic was discovered by a man in Hoffman, Minnesota, inside the walls of his house. There are thought to be less than 100 copies of this issue in existence, making this not only a rare find, but a lucrative one.
Over the years, several high-grade copies have set records. In 2014, a CGC 9.0 copy sold for $3.2 million. Fast forward to 2021, and an 8.5 graded copy fetched $3.25 million. More recently, in 2022 and 2023, two CGC 6.0 copies of Action Comics #1 sold for $3.4 and $3.5 million, but the true showstopper came in 2024 when a CGC 8.5 copy shattered all previous records, selling for a staggering $6 million. With each record-breaking sale, we see the timeless value and impact that these stories continue to have on both collectors and fans alike. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, these comics remind us that the legends of yesterday still have the power to inspire and captivate us today. So, as the market continues to grow, who knows what the next record-breaking comic will be? Keep collecting, keep dreaming, and who knows, maybe one day you'll own a piece of history.